Alright, here's the second video in the extract and project process. This one's going to be a little bit shorter, hopefully a lot shorter actually. Just kind of repeating the process and showing you how to reuse the tool, start up the project, and reuse the tool that was created to kind of process through information to show you how quickly you can actually do this. So again, if you recall, I'm kind of recreating this structure up here in this original file folder. Let's close that now. And so in the last video, I had created and masked raw data file and then projected it using this project and this model and tool. And so what I'm going to do now is for the same event, it's a 2004-2005 lake-to-lake, single lake parallel sub-event. This is where we're building the geodatabase. I'm going to now move beyond the 11 November data. So I have November 2004 data, and I'm going to move beyond this now and process the two data sets that, and for my fake event here, are also included in this event. So now that I've saved the project and the toolbox along with the extracted information, I can reuse this project anytime I want on any of this information. That's exactly what I'm going to do. The only thing I'll have to change, and I'm going to, again, the first time you would leave this and come back, the only thing you'd have to tweak and update in your model here is the geodatabase that it's going to be writing to. Once you do that the first time for a series of information that you need to process, you'll be able to just start running through information very quickly. So this is just going to start up the project, and the project will already have preloaded my mask. Okay, so my mask is in here. Right click, zoom to layer so you can see it. And what I'm going to do then is process this raw data and this raw data and save it again to my sub-event geodatabase. So first thing I want to do is open my toolbox. It's already created and it already saved it. So what I can do is launch catalog, look back over here, I can do that. And you can see I've got the catalog window here on the side. If it's not there, you would click on this and I'll open the catalog, and I'm going to go see SNODAS data 2, SNODAS data, and you can see click on the toolbox to show the model that I built. Now most of the time people just want to double click on this. Please note, you do not want to double click on this. It will open up and say it's an empty tool. You want to right click on it and you want to edit it. You don't want to open, you want to edit. And that way you'll have a tool that you can now interact with. The open just kind of opens the tool, but you can't interact with it. It's very confusing. So anytime you want to recreate or reuse a tool like this, you want to right click and edit. Again, you can see here's my tool. It's got the mask already loaded in it. All we need to do is add our raw data, update where I'm going to save this information to. Again, it'll replace this name, and then update where I'm going to save the projected information to. In this instance, because I haven't moved on to a new season, it's going to look at the same geodatabase, but I'm going to run through the information. I'm going to run through that process anyway. So if you reuse this project on a later season, like for example over here in 06-07, you see I've got a similar setup here. Say I have information I need to process again, the only thing you have to do is point it at this new geodatabase. Okay, so I'm going to start the setup. Kind of put this out of my way for a second. Grab the raw data that I need to extract and project. I'm going to dump it in my project. Click OK. And then I'm going to run through the setup of my tool. Double click again the input raster, extract by mask. It needs an input raster data set to work on. Click the drop down here, sees the one raster data set. Because we didn't remove the Lake County mask from anything very nicely, it's already updated. Output raster. Again, if you move on to a new season with this project, or a new series of information you need to update, this is the only thing you need to adjust the first time. I'm going to click the folder, make sure I'm saving it to the right place. Kind of come up here. Yep. So my 0405 Lake to Lake SLP mass data, and I'm going to call this Lake to Lake 04 December 2004. Save that. Okay, so now we've started the process over again. So what I'm going to do now is update the projection information. Again, I'm going to update this where it's going to go to. And because you've already told the tool, hey, I'm going to this geodatabase here, now you really only have to update where you're saving this. L to L December 04. No, sorry. 04 December 2004 PRJ for projection. Again, if you need to, if you haven't done this in a while, you're moving on to a new data set, you have to go into the projection information, projected coordinate system, continental, North America, and then choose your projection, and OK. So the model is set up. Again, I can do this to kind of straighten it up a little bit. Model, I can validate it. It's always a good thing to do. It's kind of like compiling your code. Model it, and then run entire model. It'll chunk through the information. And you can see the model's been run. We've got some drop-down shadows. If I come over here to my mass data and refresh, you can see now that information is here as well. Oh, sorry, here. So I've got some slightly different information here. Wow. Okay. So now I want to move on to the 17 December data. So I'm just going to remove this raw data, delete it from my model, resets the model. You can see it cleared it all up. Now it's waiting for the second set of information. Again, I don't need to close out because this is one session. Grab the next data set, drop it in there, click OK. Come here to extract by mask, double click the little hammer. My input raster now is the 17 December data, same mask, double check the output, just give it a new name, L2L 17 December 2004, save, OK. So now the model is kind of getting reset. Here's my new one, 17 December. Now I just need to project that information. L to L, 17 December 2004, PRJ. Save. Again, if I need to, I could go in here and check this, but the model's very nicely going to remember this. So you don't have to keep changing your projection unless you want to. Like this. Again, I'll validate my entire model. And now I'll run the model. It's completed. Come over here to refresh my geodatabase, and now I've got my 17 December information. So now those data sets are now in there and projected. Again, I could go in and get rid of the intermediary files that are not projected, or I can leave them depending on how much space I have. Okay, now I could shut down one more time. I'm done for the day, or I don't have any more data sets to process. Again, I'm going to come up here to my table of contents in the project, get rid of that raw data, delete it from my model, save my model, close it, save my project, close it. And that is the process for reusing the same project file and model and mask as we process through information. Now I can move on to the next season if I had it downloaded and ready to go and run through the exact same process again.